Welcome to the New Era Podcast, a fresh space where we talk love, life, growth, money moves, marriages, relationships, mindset, and everything in between. Hosted by me, Courtney. This is where real talk meets wisdom, humor, conversations that help you grow through what you're going through. Whether you're navigating relationships, leveling up in life, or just need a word, you're in the right place. It is time to align, thrive, and embrace your next era. Hey, you guys, we are back for another episode of the New Era Podcast, y'all. This is episode 8, season 2, and this is the finale. Can you believe it? It has been a wonderful season. And I told you guys I was going to bring on so many different people, so many different backgrounds, so many people with different testimonies, and I wanted to share them with you. So as you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube, I have a special guest. Her name is Regina Michelle. And y'all, she is going to talk about her journey and everything she went through as far as having a child. And y'all, I think that this story is just so unique. So when me and Regina, she actually invited me out to lunch. Thank you again, girl. And as we were sitting down talking, she was sharing with me her battle with just trying to get pregnant and have a child, y'all. And I thought that was such a powerful testimony because I don't hear a lot of women going through that, or at least opening up about that. So I definitely wanted to get her on the New Era Podcast because y'all know we talk about so many different things over here, and I wanted her to share her story. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Regina Michelle.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to talk to you all about my story today. You just want me to start?
Yeah, well, first of all, just tell them who you are. And I know you are a content creator as well. And you can talk about the things that you do on there. And, so just kind of give them just a little bit of background about Regina Michelle. And then we'll go into your story.
Okay. Well, I am Regina Michelle. You all can find me on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, and it's Regina Michelle. I'm also on TikTok as Regina Michelle. But on my YouTube channel, I talk about real life. I talk about work-life balance. I talk about things that working people go through and just things that's going on in the world. I have a background of a social worker, so I've been a social worker for over 25 years, and I've been married for over 25 years.
Wow.
And I have one daughter, so.
Wow. A social worker. Wow. That right there in itself, I'm sure is a lot that we could discuss. It's not about that, but I'm sure you have experienced a lot being in that field.
Yes. And I'm also a full-time musician. Church. So
yeah, you wear a lot of hats.
Yes, a lot.
So let's talk about your journey. So as you were sharing some stuff with me, I want to kind of, dive into that and just kind of talk about, I know you shared, how hard it was for you to get pregnant. So let's talk about that. So when did you start, or when did you even desire to want to have a child? At what age?
It started when I initially got married. I got married at 23. And I said to myself, was talking to my husband, we should wait a while before we have children, just so we can experience each other and, do some things that we want to do before we dedicate ourselves to having children. So I said, let's wait a while. And then I said, maybe I'll start trying to have a child around 29. I was pushing it because I just did not want to have a child earlier. So,
well, that's good. I want to pause. That's good because a lot of people, I would say I didn't do that. I had my first child at 19, but a lot of people don't do that, especially a newly married couple. Then immediately they want to have a child or even have the child before they get married. So I think that that's the greatest thing to do.
Yeah, because I was still kind of working on my career and still in school, trying to go to grad school and all of that. And so I stopped taking birth control pills. I think I was like 26 or 27. I can't remember exactly, but I was like, let me stop taking pills first so I can get that out of my system, and wasn't on a schedule or anything. You know how some people, when they're trying to have children, they're taking their temperature, they're trying to make sure that they're ovulating and things. I wasn't doing anything. I just stopped taking the pills. And I was like, I have always been healthy, Courtney. I was bleak in high school and college. So I was like, I'm fine. I'm sure as soon as I stop taking these pills, I'm gonna get pregnant.
Mm.
Nobody has any type of fertility problems in my family. So I stopped taking the pills. A year went by. It was like, oh, I'm still not pregnant. 2 years went by. Then I was like, something has to be wrong now. I have been off birth control pills for about 2 years and nothing is happening.
So at this age, you are what, 31?
Uh, I, I can't remember in
Okay.
detail age, but I know, like, I think at 29, I know at 29, that's when I went to the fertility specialist. And so I went to the fertility specialist. I said, I need some type of help or something, some kind type of consultation just to make sure everything is okay. And so I went to the consultation. They did a workup. They didn't find anything wrong with me initially. I had the only thing that they found was some fibroids.
Mm.
And a lot of women have fibroids and have children. But she was like, well, one of the fibroids is sitting on your fallopian tubes, and that could be blocking you from having a child.
Let me
And
ask you this. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but the process, like I guess in my mind, I probably would have went straight to my OBGYN. Did you go there and she referred you to a
my
a fertility doctor?
my OB, he did it first.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Called a dye test. He did the sonogram. He was the one that found the fibroid.
Okay. Gotcha.
So he recommended that it be removed.
Mm.
And so that's when he sent me to the fertility specialist for her to do it. But he initially did that dye test, and when they found out that the did the dye test and that fibroid was sitting on my tubes, and they found out that my tubes was blocked. And
Mm.
to the specialist, he was like, "You need to just go to her because she's good at that." And I went to this place at Brookwood. They have a very good fertility clinic. And so she removed the fibroid. It's called a myomectomy because when they remove that fibroid, they do it like you're having a C-section. They cut right across and they took the fibroid out. It was two of them actually. It was one that was like a tennis ball and one like a golf ball. And your recovery time is just like you had a C-section. So you can't move or anything. I was off from work for about 6 weeks. So she was like, so that's gone. You don't have any problems with that. Everything is working normal. And so she said, you should be able to get pregnant after this. You should be fine. There's nothing else wrong with you. And so I kept on trying, Courtney. Years went by. I don't know the exact time frames, but nothing was happening. So they did a workup. They brought my husband in. They brought him in and tested him. Nothing was wrong with him.
Mm.
And she was like, well, maybe we'll just put you on some medication. And so she started me off with Clomid first. That's like one of the popular. I don't know if they still do Clomid, but it makes you have multiple eggs.
Mm.
Telling me like you may have multiples.
Let me ask you this, Regina. So how was your mindset? Like, were you getting, like losing faith? Were you, concerned? How was it? Because, as a woman, when a woman can't have a child, sometimes, that kind of messes with them emotionally and feel like, they may be less than a woman. So where were you in this stage?
Now with because I went through some things, Courtney. So I was like, well, let's try this medicine then. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have children now since we got the medicine because it's gonna give me multiple eggs. She was like, so when the So when you and your husband comes together, you have more likely that you'll have a child because you have multiple eggs. So try that. That didn't work. Uh, only thing that Clomid did for me is make me moody because
Mm.
it's messing with my hormones and stuff. So she was like, "Well, that didn't work. Let's try Follistim." So Follistim is an injection in which you inject yourself in the stomach, and it does the same thing as Clomid, but it gives you even more eggs, so more possibility. So I'm doing all that, Courtney, and sticking yourself in the stomach was really messing with my mind. This long needle, but it was real thin, so my husband would do it for me. But did that, nothing happened. So I'm following the ovulation schedule, checking my temperature, nothing happens. And so when that didn't work, then my mind was my faith. Because I'm like, Lord, I have tried everything and nothing is working. I've had surgery. I've been off from work for 6 weeks. I've tried this medication. I've tried the second medication. Nothing has worked. My body is producing eggs, but there's no baby coming.
Mm.
The eggs are not being fertilized. So she was like, now, meanwhile, I'm still going to other friends' baby showers. All of my friends are young. They're having their babies. I'm going to their baby showers. And that's when it started affecting me. And I'm trying not to cry
Mm.
because I was trying to have a child and nothing was working for me. And I'm sitting here celebrating everybody else's birth and their babies. And I even set up the whole baby shower for one of my friends, knowing that I'm going through this. So she was like, well, let's try the IUI, the artificial insemination.
Before you go into that part, so when you were going through all this, did anybody know? Is this something that you kind of kept to yourself because you didn't want to share?
Yeah, the only person that really knew was my parents and my
Okay.
best friend and my sister.
Yeah.
So we started doing the artificial insemination. I'm like, surely, because that's when they take the sperm and they insert it directly into your uterus
Mm.
or where the eggs are. And they're like, that's a great possibility for you to have a child. And it costs because your insurance don't pay for it. And so it pays like half of it. So I'm paying up to like $1,000 for each try. So I had it done 3 times and it didn't work. So I think like I can't remember the time frame, but I think after that, like that fifth or sixth year of trying, I was like, I'm done. I'm just not fixing to do anything medically. It's just taking a toll on my body and just messing with my mind. So
So 6 years later, so you got to be in your mid 30s. I know you don't remember all, time frame, but so in your mid 30s, which probably in your mind was like, man, I'm getting closer to 40, so like all of that on top of not having, trying all these other things and none of it working. So I'm quite sure, like, I mean, it really and truly was weighing on your mental.
it really was. So I just stopped. I stopped doing the medication. And and I can't, I was doing so much, Courtney, like with all the temperatures and the time schedule, the intimacy with my husband. It was wearing on him too, because, he had to rise to the occasion as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
working. And so
It
it's
became more like mechanical instead of actually, what it's supposed to be. It became like, okay, probably like an assembly line. You got to make sure everything in order to do it. So yeah, I can't even imagine.
right. I'm like, I only have this window. Come on, let's go, let's go. And then I did not mention that he had a traveling job. So that made it really hard. And so I gave up. And then I got pregnant just out the blue.
Wow.
So excited.
Was this right after when you
Was
said, you know what? I guess you said, you know what, God, I'm done. I give it to you.
mm-hmm. Yes, I was like, I'm done. I was 34 at this time, got pregnant, was so excited. Everything was lining up. Um, we had got approved for this house that I'm in, and it was like, got a new house. My husband had just got a new job, and we're gonna have a new baby in this house. I was so excited. I started spotting at 2 months. Yeah, that's the bad part. And the Lord, and it was like, you know how God speaks to you, like warns you. He was like, "You're a miscarriage. This is a miscarriage." Because I know that women spot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nothing. It's just normal for some women. Because my best friend was like that, but the Lord was speaking to my spirit. He was like, "This is a miscarriage,"
How
and
far along were you?
I was just like 2 months, 8 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and so that happened. I was torn up about it. My husband was torn up, and I would tell women, like, when you're trying to have a baby, don't tell everybody. Wait till you're through that first trimester, because I had to go back and tell everybody, because it was like, how are you and the baby doing? And I had to go back and tell everybody that I had lost the baby.
Yeah.
And so that was really devastating. So
I had a miscarriage too, so I do understand that. Yeah. And it's painful, like physically painful. I know mine was to go through all of that and stuff. So yeah.
yeah. So after that, I was like, I'm just gonna pray. I'm just gonna pray about it. And I just started doing I can't even remember the scripture now, but it was First Samuel, the Hannah's prayer. Lord bless me that I will have a child, and I can't even remember it, but I had it on my mirror, and I
Yeah.
was every day. But I was like, I was saying the prayer, but I wasn't as focused as on having a child, because I was like, Lord, if it's your will, then I will have one. And I was like, Lord, if I don't have one, I'm just gonna travel, go on a lot of vacations, and I'm gonna buy me a Lexus. And because I can afford the Lexus, I want to have a child, I can just ball out. So that's
Mhm.
fine. I was like, if I don't have a child, I'm just gonna ball out, travel, buy me all the expensive clothes I want, and just live nice in my nice house. So something inside of me had released
Mm.
and described the feeling, but all of those feelings of frustration and doubt left me. I can't even describe. I was so happy and peaceful. I just had let it all go.
It was
All
like a burden, I'm sure, had been lifted.
the burden. I was like, I'm just fixing to live life, because I wasn't enjoying life for it.
Mm.
Obsessed with having a child. I was even, this is, and I'm a person of faith. So what I would do, and it may sound strange to people, I was buying baby clothes. I put baby powder on the baby clothes, on the clothes, and be smelling the clothes and holding the clothes and hanging her clothes, because I already said I was gonna have a girl. I already knew it for some reason.
Mm.
So I was buying my little baby, my girl clothes, and hanging them up, and had her name and stuff. And I was still doing that, but something inside of me, I was so free and just so happy with life. I can't even describe it. So me and my husband, we were out at a party or something, and we were just having a good time. And I have never felt that good in my life. Like,
Wow.
around some people, and the vibe is good, the energy is good, everybody's in a good mood, and you can really just relax and enjoy yourself. I'm not a dancer. I was up dancing, just having a good time. I got home, and probably about a couple of days after that party and event, I noticed something. My cycle had not been on for about 3 weeks.
Mm.
And that was the same night, I was dancing and just having a good time. really didn't think about it because my cycle has done that before and I was very disappointed. So I told myself, I was like, my cycle gonna have to be off a long time for me to check because I'm not fixing to disappoint myself.
Right.
So my husband was at work and I just went on and went to Dollar Tree. I said, I'm not even gonna buy an expensive pregnancy test. Let me just go ahead to this Dollar Tree and get a little dollar test. And it was positive. I was so excited. It was like the best feeling in the world.
Mm.
And Courtney, I did not tell my husband that I was pregnant until I was out of the first trimester.
Wow.
That was so hard
Wow.
on him because I remember how excited he was the first time, and then the sadness, how his face looked when I had to tell him that I had to miscarriage. So I did not want to see that again.
Mm-hmm.
So the only person that knew I was pregnant was my mom. And so after that trimester was over and I heard the heartbeat. I mean, I went to the doctor's appointments, everything by
Oh,
myself.
wow. Wow.
Heard the heartbeat. And they were the fertility people, they were still monitoring me because I was older then. I was how old was I? 35 then.
Mm.
And so they were still monitoring me to make sure that the numbers and stuff were doubling. Because when you're pregnant, it's a hormone or something that's supposed to be doubling. All of that was doing good.
Mm.
So they gave me the sonogram of the baby. And my husband came home from work and I showed him the sonogram. And he said, "Oh, that's a baby. Who baby that is?" He says, "Pam baby." Because him and his we had some friends, they had been trying to get pregnant too. So he thought I had a picture of their baby. I was like, "No, that's your baby." And his face was he was so excited. He was like, "For real? We having a baby?" I was like, "Yes, it was the best thing." I can't even believe I kept it from him that long.
I know. So you was what? Probably what? 6 weeks, maybe?
I
Oh,
was
okay.
8 weeks,
Oh, wow.
something like that.
You wasn't showing though, right?
I wasn't showing. Hmm. But it was like 12 weeks. I made sure that was a long time to go. Because the last baby was 8 weeks and it was
Mm.
under that first trimester. But that
Wow.
was, and I'm gonna tell you, like when I was pregnant, it was the best feeling in the world. I felt like God had answered my prayers. And I wish I could have kept that energy that I had, the feeling that so much love. I felt so special. I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, God has blessed me. And I wish I could have kept it in a bottle and
Mm.
just put it on me or something when I'm feeling bad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, but you went to the scripture in the Bible where Hannah was trying to get pregnant, and she was barren for a long time, and they used to go up, just telling the story for those that may not know it. And she was going up to like temple whenever they go, like once a year. And I know I forgot her husband's name, but because all of them names sounded the same. He had also another wife, and the other wife, she used to always just pop out baby, bam, bam, bam. And she would taunt the other wife because the other wife was barren. And so she made that silent prayer, when the priest thought that she was drunk because her mouth was moving, but she was something like that. So anyway, she made that silent prayer and she vowed that if God give her a child, then she would dedicate that child to the church and to the temple and everything. And God did. When she went back home, bam, boom, she was pregnant. So I understand that story. It correlates to where you are. You made prayers and you just kind of like, I'm sure Hannah, she left it alone. Okay, I give it to you, God. And you was in that phase where you was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done trying. I'm done doing all the math and the mechanical stuff, all this stuff. God, when it's your time, it's your time. And you felt good about it because you released it. You let all of it go. And you know how people say, just give it to God, but we don't. Sometimes we still hold on to it because we still trying to figure it out. But you did that. And God did what he did.
Yes, he's an awesome God. That's all I can say.
Yes, he is. Wow. So okay, so you and your husband now you are officially pregnant and you enjoyed your pregnancy, you were excited and everything, right?
And I knew when I was going to have a baby because I had to, since I had that myomectomy and they had to cut through my uterus, I had to have a C-section. So it was everything was planned. So I was buying clothes and stuff, setting up her room, and I had my little night bag ready, and you know how you set up your little outfit you're gonna wear to the hospital and what kind of little gown you're gonna wear and all of that. So it was wonderful. I remember when she first came out, the way she looked at me, it's like, you know how babies connect? It's like, because I talked to her all the time in my stomach. I was always rubbing my stomach. My first lady at church used to say, "You spoiling that baby already. Stop doing that. You spoiling her." So when she came out, she was hollering, just screaming. At first, she didn't make no sound. And I guess I should back up and say this, but my daughter, she was born with a congenital birth defect.
Mm.
They found that during the sonogram, but nobody would know that she has one. It's so minor.
What
But
is that?
what is it called?
I mean, yeah, like what is that?
It's like with her lymph nodes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. And most children die with it. It's called cystic hygroma.
Mm.
So mild, you have to really just be looking to see. But she really wasn't supposed to be here because most children die in the womb when they have it. Yeah, so I didn't. I guess I should have went back and said that because when they did the second sonogram to find out what her sex was gonna be, they found it. I had to go to another specialist
Mm.
that monitors at risk pregnancies. And you know, I was praying through that because I already know what God has promised. And they said what the diagnosis was, and I had already claimed the victory. So I didn't believe anything that they said. So before, since everything was planned, when I had her, I told the Lord, I said, if she cries real loud, I know she's fine. So when she came out, she didn't say nothing at first. I was like, uh-oh. Then she started screaming so loud. And the doctor, he was like, ain't nothing wrong with this baby. Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
And the little minor stuff that they said she had, it was like something cosmetically done. It wasn't even what all the stuff that they were saying. But she was the most beautiful baby in the world. And when she looked at me, it's like she made some type of connection with me and she automatically stopped crying. Like she knew, like time they put her on me, she just stopped crying like she knew that I was her mom.
Mm. Wow. Regina, that's such a beautiful story of faith. I mean, going through doubt and then really and truly being triumphant past that. And then you just birthing a miracle, because not only when once you got pregnant, then there was some kind of, doubt even in that pregnancy that could have taken place. But wow,
Yes.
that is a lot. So once you connected with your child, like, I mean, how did your husband feel? How did your family feel? Like, was everybody in the trenches with you when you were praying through this and going through this? Because I know you said your mom knew once you got pregnant. You didn't tell your husband just yet, but your mom knew. So did you have a whole, just an anchor of support around you?
Oh, yes. My parents, when I first brought her home, because I was a older mom.
Mhm.
I was 36 when I had her. That's older. Like you have your first child. I really didn't know what to do. I was kind of scared to touch her because she was so small. I was like, Am I gonna hurt her? They was like, no, you're not gonna hurt her. I was scared to put her little clothes on and stuff, and I was nursing and trying to learn how to do that. And oh, that nursing is hard. I'm gonna tell you. I was pumping, and when she sleeps, I try to sleep. But first I have to pump first. Oh, I was so tired. And so my mom, she came over, my mom and dad, they'll cook food for me so I wouldn't have to do anything. And I had a C-section, so I was still in a whole lot of pain. And my husband had to go back to work. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was at home with that little baby.
Mm.
But I got a chance to bond with her, and I figured it out. My mama and daddy was very helpful, and everybody, you know how everybody come over. Oh, can I hold a baby? And I had my Lysol and my hand sanitizer. Y'all gotta wash y'all hands before y'all touch my baby. One thing about it, I just feel like I didn't get enough. You know, at your job, they only give you those. I only had 2.5 months. I had to go back to work,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yeah.
wish longer.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a lot, Regina. So let me ask you this. So what would you say to a woman who is currently in the middle of trying to conceive and feeling discouraged in that journey?
I would definitely tell her to, if you see a problem, if it's not happening, I would go ahead and definitely get checked. Don't wait, because there's so much medicine out there now that's more advanced than what was back in my time. And I would just tell them to go ahead and get checked. And I would tell them to read, only focus on the miracles.
Mm.
It's so many miracles. When I was going through not um able to conceive, it was women around me telling me how they got pregnant. One lady told me, she said, I only had a half of an egg of a you know, she had one egg and it was half, and she still got pregnant.
Wow.
One lady had one tube and she still got pregnant. And just so many people telling me how they got pregnant with my roommate. Well, she wasn't my roommate, but one of my college friends that I was real close with, she had endometriosis, and you was really hard getting pregnant with endometriosis. And I just still recall her still getting pregnant. So I always tell people, doctors, they are just practicing medicine. They don't know the outcome.
Amen.
The master physician, he's the author and he's the finisher of our faith.
Mm.
Maybe no. And you just have to surround yourself with faith.
Amen.
Mm.
Um, so what is something that you wish people understood better about infertility or the conception journey? What is something that you learned that you wish other people knew about it?
I really thought that nobody, well, they couldn't even really diagnose me. They just called it unexplained infertility, because there was no reason why I shouldn't have got pregnant. It just was not happening with all the things that I was doing.
Mm.
So I
Wow.
would say it's nothing. Sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes our bodies are under stress. Sometimes there's things that we can do to increase our fertility. I know one of my friends, she was big on health, and she started juicing a lot, and she found out that her body was real acidic, and
Mm.
started juicing and eating more vegetables. And it was something with carrots. She would eat a whole lot of carrots, and her body became alkaline. And when she did that, oh, she popped out so many children. She has about 5 children, and she did it without even seeking a doctor. She sought a herbalist. So there's so many ways that you can seek advice. If you're having fertility, some people may go the medical route, but there's so many different alternatives.
Mm. Wow, I love that. I'm so glad that you shared that because everybody's body is different, and a lot of people, may look to see, oh, let me try this, let me try that. Or I think you shared this with me too, that sometimes a woman feels less than a woman because she can't have a child.
Yes. And I felt that way. I felt like a failure. I was like, that's the one thing that I want to do. I can see, because, having a child does not define you as a woman, but it hurts you when you can't do it,
Mhm.
when you want to give birth, when you want to be a mother, and deep down inside that you have the ability to be one. I knew I was a mother,
Mm.
and not to have that, it was it was heartbreaking to me. And I would ask my husband, I said, do you still love me? I would ask him things like that. And he was like, of course I still love you. I was like, well, what if we don't have any children? He was like, if we have one, it's fine. If we don't, it's fine. And
Mm.
I thank him for being that way, because I know some people, their husband, they do not think like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God for him being very, very supportive because that's definitely what you needed. You didn't need somebody adding pressure on you to make you feel less than, especially in that moment. Wow. Thank God for him. Let me ask you another question. If you could go back and tell your past self one thing at the beginning of this process, what would it be? If you can go back and tell your past self, encouraging yourself or giving yourself some kind of information, what would it be?
Just having the sight that I have now, I wouldn't have stressed out the way that I did.
Mm.
Probably wouldn't have even did all of those fertility treatments, because it wasn't going to help anyway. It was just something that was ordained by God. It's in His time, and it's not always in our time. Like
Yeah.
you're always trying to control something. I would have just enjoyed my youth without obsessing so much, because I did it a lot. I was very unhappy
Mm.
for those 7 years. I was so unhappy. I was upset with God at times. I couldn't really relax and enjoy myself. So I would have told my future self, hey, chill out. God has you. You are a woman of faith. You're going to have to live by. It's going to happen in His time.
Amen. So now we're going to close this out with reflection and encouragement. So, how has this experience changed the way you see yourself as a woman?
I know one thing. Sometimes you have to persevere, and I have that. And it definitely increased my faith,
I love that.
and have a lot of courage and strength, because to go through the things that I went through, trying to have a child with the surgeries, taking the medicine, having the disappointments, and still overcoming it. Oh, I'm a phenomenal one.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, what does motherhood mean to you now?
Motherhood is one of the greatest things in the world to me, Courtney. It's the most challenging job, but it's a job that I never want to call in for. I'm never
Mm,
saying I'm sick to be a mother. Oh, I'm gonna rise to the occasion. It's the best thing in the world that happened to me.
love that, Regina. You don't call in sick to be a mother. We can't call in sick, child, to be honest.
Timing.
Yes. Okay, so how do you plan to continue to inspire or support other women who are walking through this same path? I know you don't talk about it, that's not your whole channel. But is it any kind of way, that you can inspire, because I know you said you dropped nuggets here and there while you were talking live and stuff like that. So, I'm grateful that you came over here to share your story.
Yes, I'm glad I could share it, because I would welcome anybody. They can always reach me. I'm on Instagram too as Regina Michelle. They can always send me a instant message. All of my links are on YouTube. and they can send me a message if they need information or encouragement or just to talk about some of the things that I did.
Perfect. I'm actually going to put all of your link information inside this video if you're watching us on YouTube. So, well, thank you again so much for this sit down. It has been wonderful. Thank you for closing out this season of the New Era podcast. Thank you so much for being transparent and sharing such a powerful part of your story. Your journey is a reminder that even in the waiting process, as we've seen the waiting, there's purpose, and that faith, perseverance, and you said it, and self-love can truly carry us through the toughest seasons of our life. And make
Yeah,
sure that you got God in the mix on it. I'm telling you, because I don't think, Regina, you could have did it without God.
no.
So for those of you that are listening or watching, I hope this conversation has encouraged you to keep believing, keep trusting, and keep showing up for yourself, no matter what stage you're in. And if you want to connect with Regina, I'm going to leave all of her information down below, and you are able to reach out to her, like she said, and everything. So as always, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in to the New Era podcast, where we talk love, life, growth, and everything in between. And this was the in between. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure that you rate us. Make sure that you like us. Follow us on YouTube at the New Era podcast. And until next time, keep aligning, keep thriving, and keep embracing your next era. Bye bye. See you next season. Bye.